Just in time, our Shang-Chi.
I'm just kidding, that's not his real stage name. But it sounds good.
It does sound really good. That's a wonderful name to have.
Yeah. And time is spelled like, what is it? Like Thyme.
Oh, like
Okay.
spice.
Yeah,
Like
like
the
the spice.
Okay, but
He's a spicy, like, Asian Latino.
I used to say it was thyme when I first started cooking.
I did too.
I'm like,
did
I'm gonna add a
also.
little bit of a thyme here, and I thought I was being so like in the know. I'm like thyme, and like everyone literally laughed at me when I
Yeah.
put that. They're like, it's time. I'm like, time for what?
You're like, wait, time for more thyme?
Oh my god. So, folks joining us, that is the infectious laugh of one Michelle Waffle Otero. You know her. You love her. She's been on this podcast like how many times at this point?
Gosh, I don't know. I mean, 4 or 5?
4 or
I don't know,
5.
how many episodes have been released? How many are in the vault?
We still have one in the vault with a very special guest. And then I think we have some other stuff we've been talking about.
Oh, yes. Okay.
So that stuff. Oh, and you did Masters of Comic Books as well.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yes. I did.
And that is one of my favorite episodes we've done over there. Like we just had like a riot the entire time.
I know. We did. That was a lot of fun. Even though I had technical difficulties, I think, in the beginning. Or I was late, right? I'm pretty sure it was me.
And then I had to take a timeout. I was like, I'll be right back because I double booked myself. So I'll be like, I'll be back just in time for the second part.
Just in time for the next part.
So, Michelle, I mean, we keep making this joke just in time, but who else is on this episode? Who is making their Power of X-Men debut tonight?
Oh, do you want to introduce yourself or do you want me to introduce you?
You can introduce me.
Oh, I can introduce you?
You're better.
So, this is my sexy Saurus rocket scientist husband, Justin Otero, otherwise affectionately known as Just in Time.
What's up, Justin?
Hey man, how you doing?
Good. Well, fun fact for those tuning in from home, I actually met Justin first, technically, IRL.
Yeah, that's right.
IRL.
Yeah, you did.
And the dogs.
And the dogs.
And the dogs.
So you met my entire family before you met me.
Well,
In person.
it was kind of like the end of Phoenix Resurrection, where everyone's like, Jean Grey's right through that door. And that's how like Justin was like, he's like, oh, Michelle is right in the house. And I just look on the doors there. I'm like, I guess I knock.
You can just come in, it's fine.
Like, hey, what's going on? Where's your beer? Which I'm pretty sure is like the first thing I said when I came in through your door.
Where's your beer? And let's take a selfie.
The read right now. That was pretty accurate.
Yeah. I mean, I was prepared. I was like, yeah, I got beer and sure, I look all right. Well, can you take a selfie?
Oh my God. Both of you looked fabulous. You guys are such a wonderful couple. Like, I just love the energy you guys put out there.
Thank you. We try.
Justin, you are in cosplay tonight.
I am semi in cosplay. Sure.
We'll pretend you're wearing the full cosplay.
We'll just pretend. Had to get in
We'll pretend he's wearing pants.
Oh, I wasn't ready for that one. I'm just like, yes, let me go put on some makeup now. But pray tell, who are you cosplaying as? I wonder who.
So I am the comic book version of Shang-Chi.
My God,
The new one. Yeah, the latest one that just came out last year.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
How did you put it together?
Michelle's mom actually did the whole thing in less than 2 weeks.
Yeah, she did.
I sent her probably 15 reference pictures and we picked out the materials together and she just went with it.
She did.
She
did.
Yeah.
As soon as we got the invite, we called her and I was like, Mom, we need a costume in like a week and a half. Can you do this?
Oh yeah, because she still had to send it to us
Yeah.
from Sacramento.
Yeah,
so.
because she's in Sacramento and we're
In Southern Cal.
yeah, we're in Southern California. So she's like, well, what do you want? Like, what do you need? And Justin sent her a whole bunch of pictures. He's very meticulous, so we did a lot of like phone. Like she was at Joann's and she'd call me on Facebook Messenger so we could FaceTime. And she's like, okay, I'm at the fabric store. She's like, what about this material? Oh, what about this? And Justin's like, no, I don't like that. No, not what I'm envisioning.
My
And
God,
she's
what
like,
a
okay.
diva. Justin, you're such a diva. And Lisa's like, listen, I'm doing the best I can right now.
No, but she knew what he wanted, so she was just showing him options.
I got it.
And like she picked out this really nice like red material, and she couldn't find like a good like scaly material, so we went and found some at our Joann's and we overnighted it to her. And these buttons, because Justin was very like particular about what kind of buttons he wanted.
I mean, that is a gorgeous vest. I'm not caught up in the comic books right now with Shang-Chi. Oh my God, look at that.
Yeah.
He did
And
that
even,
in
like-
2 weeks.
Yeah,
She
and
is
she
amazing.
made pants too. Well, we upcycled some pants from another costume. My mom made these like genie costumes for my sister when she was in high school. So these are from, gosh, like the 90s.
Oh my
Like
God.
these 90s like genie pants. They were really baggy, but they were the perfect green material. And she's like, I think I can take them in and make them into what Justin wants.
Yes.
So we just recycled some other costume pieces, and we got this. Oh, we sewed.
This was the centerpiece.
Yeah, this was the main
This is the
piece,
centerpiece.
and then she altered the pants, and then, oh gosh, the shoes.
Oh, the shoes.
The
Yeah.
shoes.
Oh my God, tell me about the shoes.
The combined efforts here.
Yeah, so Justin bought some green like sport socks, and then these gray. I call them. What do I call
They're
them?
like sneaker socks.
I
or
call them generic Balenciaga sneaker socks.
I love that you just referenced Balenciaga. I love Balenciaga, and I loved Balenciaga before it was on American Horror Story season 3, Coven, because it was affordable before, and then it became inaffordable after. I mean, don't get me wrong, it was still expensive, but like that's it. The second Myrtle Snow said Balenciaga, that's it. It went up. It was the same with
Jacked up the
McQueen.
prices.
I mean, I hate to say this, but after like McQueen died, like McQueen went from being expensive, but still you treated yourself, to just being inaffordable. That's it. You can't
Yeah.
afford McQueen now.
Yeah.
Oh no,
And he
wait!
did-
It was before he died. I don't remember. Did he die before or after Kate Middleton wore him for the wedding? I don't know. Anyways, look, I digress. Yes, your Balenciaga socks.
Yes. So his Balenciaga sneaker socks, shoes. What did we find? Like we found like some green soccer socks.
Yep.
And we sliced the bottoms off. And I hand sewed them to the sneaker, like at the sole part, because I think they were gray.
They were gray.
They were gray. And after I sewed on the green sock, Justin taped it off and he spray painted it gold, like because it has a gold sole and like a green, like shoe part. Right? Yeah.
And you were doing all of this cosplaying preparation because you were going to the world premiere of Shang-Chi, because when you're Michelle, that's just how you roll.
Exactly.
I had so many people, like after we did that premiere, so many people like slid into my DMs and they're like, Michelle, how do you get invited? And I'm like, honestly,
Are they only asking these questions now? Like, I literally, like, the first time I met you, I'm like, how do you get invited to all these red carpets? Come on, people, catch up. I love that. No, I'm sorry to cut you off.
I mean, I think it's because I did Marvel Becoming, because I see all my other Marvel Becoming castmates there a lot, and we think that's how we all got on the list, and now we just get invites to these things because they also know we'll cosplay.
Yeah.
Like, it's usually a requirement to cosplay. So Justin wanted to do Shang-Chi, and then I was like, well, I don't know who I'm gonna be if I have to cosplay. Like, who should I go as? And I'm like, well, you know what? Shang-Chi was on Heroes for Hire, the comic book, and I'm like, I have a black cat. Black Cat was his teammate. So I know it's going to feel really random to a lot of people, but
But the
I'm like,
right
you know
people
what?
will know it's not random.
Yeah, yeah. And so there was another girl who did Domino who actually like hooks up with Shang-Chi in the comics.
Okay.
So I feel like there were some other people who were like digging and taking from the comic book aspect of like Shang-Chi cosplay. So it wasn't just me. But yeah, like we get the invite and we throw this together. I've already got my black cat. It was really hot that day. Like
Yeah.
I was definitely dying. I took a lot of pictures like without my wig on just because I just couldn't.
Like hold my wig. I need...
Yeah, I'm like, it's fine. I don't need that many pictures. It's not really about me. It's okay. Like I just took a few and I was good.
You're like, I'm not the star of the show today. It's just in time.
It was Justin. That's right. Just in time.
Wait, Justin, was this the first time you cosplayed for a big Marvel event?
No, I did kind of a casual Wolverine for the Dark Phoenix.
Yeah, for Dark. Yeah. Justin was my +1 for Dark Phoenix, and he went as like casual Logan. You had like the beater, the jeans, the boots, the claws,
the mutton chops.
Oh, I drew on. I had some eyeliner, I think.
Yeah, eyeliner.
Some brown eyeliner, and I drew like stubble, like to give him the mutton chops, right?
Yep.
That's what it's called, mutton chops. Yeah. There's a picture somewhere on my Instagram of Justin with
dive. I am obsessed. Like, can you adopt me for like a week? Like, just to be in your house, like for 1 week, like, and FaceTime.
We'll cosplay.
Yeah,
we'll just dress up in cosplay and walk around.
I have a closet full of stuff. Like,
I know. I know. You'll come home one day and you'll be like, thanks for raiding my cosplay costume closet. And I'm like on FaceTime with Lisa, who's your mom. And I'm just being like, hey, Queen, can you do me a Nate Gray? Thank you.
Yeah, I need a Nate Gray cosplay.
Like tomorrow.
Yeah.
I heard there's a Joann's by you. Oh my God. So what was the vibe like for the premiere? I mean, this is like I know Black Widow came out obviously before, but that had the simul release with Disney Plus. This is like a first Disney movie you can't get on Disney Plus. Pandemic is going on. What was the vibe like? Were people excited to be there? How did you guys arrive? Tell me.
Well, I think the vibe was like really good. We got there early because they did COVID testing. So everyone had to get a rapid test. But there was a lot of like really cool cosplayers. Like there were so many Shang-Chi cosplayers. It just blew my mind. And they all looked so good.
But not as good as Justin Time. Sorry, I'm so sorry. I'm going to stop the Justin time.
It's okay. It's cute. Maybe you
it's like 40 minutes later.
Right? I'll just change my handle to that.
No, maybe it could be your OnlyFans handle.
You're like, babe, it's okay. Just do it. OnlyFans.
He got a lot of really good reception on his Shang-Chi cosplay because we did a photo shoot the weekend before the premiere. Because we got the costume just in time. So that was not meant to be just in time. Like, we literally got it just in time.
Oh, don't worry. I was letting that simmer.
I thought about it as I was saying it, and I'm like, oh.
Well, it was just so good because I'm like here thinking, oh, yeah, they did that photo shoot with Namor cosplay. Wait, did Michelle just say just in time?
I did. Oh, but we did that, and we got the pictures like a week or two after the premiere and posted them online, and Justin got a lot of good feedback from them.
Yeah, I posted it on IG, and what was it? I said something like, the Shang-Chi, the movie, was as epic as these shots taken by Frame Drop, was the photographer. And it got shared by a bunch of different cosplay sites. A couple people reached out to me. I even tagged
the artist.
Yeah, the artist who created this comic costume, and he replied back to me. Actually, he reposted me.
He reshared him
Yeah,
to
he
his
reshared it.
stories.
Yeah, to his stories.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because you look boss as fuck. You look great.
Yeah, I feel awesome in it. It's definitely it's probably got to be my favorite one. By
Really
far.
over
Just
Shatterstar?
everything it stands for. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I like the Shatterstar one, but this one is just, I don't know. It just means a lot more. It just
Oh,
feels
I
like
love
it has
that.
yeah. So, but yeah, it was great. Everyone seems to love it, and I got a couple. Someone reached out to me
Oh, yeah, that's
for an
right.
interview. They're gonna feature me in some Cosplay Central, I think.
What? That's insane.
Yeah.
Now you're both
Stuff like that.
superstars. Now you're both cosplay icons.
He was so cute. He's like, I got a DM from somebody that wants to interview me,
Mhm.
and I was like, oh, that's great. I was like, well, who is it? Like, what's it for? And he's like, oh, it's who is it? Darth Lexi
Darth Lexi,
for Cosplay
Cosplay Central.
Central. And
Yeah.
I'm like, well, she's got like a huge following, and I'm like, that's great. Like, good for you, baby.
Yeah, so I'm pretty
Yeah, he's
excited
getting
about
all
that.
these kudos
Yeah.
and
And then I
stuff.
got, what was the other one? The food and cosplay site.
Oh yeah, Food and
Food and
Cosplay
cosplay
featured
featured me
Justin.
in that one.
I didn't
From,
know
like-
that. I'm sorry. I need to now. I need to be stalking you 24/7 like I stalk your wife. The second Michelle posts something, I'm like half asleep and I'm just like I hear the little notification like
Who
Michelle
is it?
waffle like post. I'm like regram right there. Now I gotta put you on notification. Jesus, I can't keep
Yeah,
up
most
with
of the
this power
time-
couple.
Most of the time it's from her posting me or reposting me.
I always repost
Yeah,
his
she always
stuff because
reposts it.
I like to be supportive, and Justin does a really good job. Like he doesn't get as excited about cosplay until recently.
Yeah, until
like
recently.
so I love this, and I love that he's gotten so much attention, and he really deserves it. Like he does a good job. Like he looks great. Like he worked really hard on
Getting it exact.
getting it exactly the way he wanted it. Yeah.
I love that. So when you were on the premiere, did you walk by Kevin Feige this time and not
No.
say
Oh my
hello?
god.
Or
No.
was Kevin there? Was Kevin Feige there?
He was.
He was there. He was there. He was there.
Okay, so small caveat. So during the COVID testing, we were one of the first ones in there, but something happened and like it was my test didn't get processed right away, so we had to wait for mine. And by the time we got to the red carpet section, we were on the opposite side of all of our friends and a majority of the cosplayers, and then we were in the very corner. So we were in the camera didn't even pan.
The camera was basically right over our heads.
Yeah.
So you basically couldn't see us at all.
Yeah, I mean, which is fine. Which is fine, but all the celebrities came in right there, and they didn't start with us. They started on the other side and walked all the way around, and then the interview steps were halfway between where we were and the other side of the cosplayers. So not everybody came down to see us. I mean, we did see Kevin Feige, and I waved to him, and he saw us, and I pointed at Justin. I was like, look, and he was like, oh. And
you're like, I remember you from the Black Widow premiere, when you walked by me.
They walked by me.
No, I mean, I'm the only black cat there. I'm in the very corner because we were with another group of friends, and I wanted them to have a better angle so that they could see everybody, because it was more for them.
Mhm.
And I was just there to take pictures. I was taking pictures for everybody.
Oh, I love
I'm like,
that.
yeah, give me your cameras. I'll take all I'll get you all the angles, whatever you guys want. But we did get Simu.
Yeah, Simu came all the way around.
He did make his way over to us.
You guys got a photo, right? Justin, you have a photo with him?
Yeah, I have a couple photos
Okay.
with him. I
Yeah,
have one
okay, I
with
remember.
just me and him, and then me and a couple of our friends were there.
Yeah, because I had my phone, and then I had our friend Jennifer's phone, so I was taking pictures for her, and I was taking
You're taking photos everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just literally taking pictures of everybody.
Michelle's
Ben
like, this
Kingsley-
is just a Tuesday night for me, but you guys, I'm
Yeah.
gonna capture these memories.
Yeah, I'm like, I got you guys. Don't even trip. I was even yelling at celebrities. I was like, who do you want to come over here? And I was like, please come over here. And they're like, this girl and
Who
this
is this?
this mask.
Why
and
is Black Cat
this-
screaming at us?
Yeah.
Wait, why is Black Cat calling us? Oh my god, that would be a sight
but-
to behold.
I did interrupt, Justin. I'm sorry. Like, you continue your story with Simu.
Oh
It's-
yeah,
it's
so
good.
he made it all the way around. He actually complimented the costume, and I told him, I was like, man, you're an inspiration to us, to these younger kids. And he's like, you look at you, and I'm like,
Oh my god,
yeah,
Simu! I love that he said that.
yeah, he's such a cool guy, way down to earth. And then,
He was really nice.
yeah, he was really nice. He talked to us. We had his Marvel Legends figure, and I was like, hey man, you want to sign yourself?
What did
And
he
he's
say
like-
to that?
He's like, well, when you put it that way, how can I not?
Yeah. He signed
Oh
our
my-
Marvel Legend.
Yeah,
Oh my god, that's so cool.
yeah. So
Did,
that was probably the highlight.
and anyone else? Did Aquafina come by?
Oh,
No, she didn't.
She
She
didn't.
I think she was late.
She was a little
So she
late.
kind of even walked past the first row, only took a couple pictures, but she
She's
kinda
kind
walked
of an
right past
important
everybody.
person, I
Yeah,
guess.
kind of.
Yeah.
I
She
know.
was very nice, though. She was very
I
nice.
know.
Yeah.
She, I have to tell you, was probably my favorite part of the movie. And I was going in, I didn't really know too much about her career. Obviously, I've heard her name and I've heard, like the buzz about her, but I never really sat down in a movie theater and saw her performance like uninterrupted, except when you went live and I had to join your Insta live really quickly. But I was like, oh my God, Aquafina was amazing in this. Like I enjoyed her so much. Like I want it more.
She has a great show, Nora from Queens. I believe it's on Netflix.
Mhm.
I think there's 2 seasons. It's so good. It's so funny. If you like her in Shang-Chi, definitely check out Nora from Queens. And she's also in Crazy Rich Asians.
Yep.
She was so good in that too. Like, highly recommend both of those.
And I think she's going to be in Little Mermaid, right?
No, really?
What?
Did not know
Yeah, I
that.
think she's going
Out
to be
the
in.
front door.
Yeah, hang on. I'm trying to pull it up here.
Okay.
Yeah, she's going to be Scuttle's voice in The Little Mermaid, the live action one. Yeah.
Oh my God, she's gonna be the perfect Scuttle.
Oh, I know. I was telling this to Jeff, like there's some people who can't pull off that type of humor. You have to be a certain like soul and like you have to be very earnest, but like still yourself. And she is just 110% so confident, so wonderful.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
I enjoyed her so much. But wait, before we dive into the movie, anything else on the red carpet? Anything else that you guys experienced at the premiere?
Oh, somebody else came down and like talked to us.
Ben Kingsley.
Ben Kingsley did. Yeah, he made the rounds.
He made his way all around.
Yeah, we didn't get a photo with him, but our friend was talking to him and getting photos, so I snapped some pictures for him. And then I think he was confused, like he's like, why is this girl taking pictures of me with this person? But I was just taking pictures for my friend because like I got a picture of him taking a picture. Like it was just a different angle, you know.
No, Wong came by too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Wong came by. I ended up moving out of the way so our friend who was dressed as him could get a picture.
Yeah.
Oh my God. What did he
Yeah.
say? What did he say when he saw your friend?
Oh, you just said that's an awesome,
He
awesome
was-
outfit.
yeah, he was
really
funny.
nice too. He was funny.
He wanted to take all the pictures.
Yeah.
Like he asked people, he's like, let me see your phone. He's like, I have to put it on portrait mode so we look good. And he was taking all the pictures for
He was
the
taking all the
fans.
selfies.
Yeah.
Benedict Wong just looks like such a good human being,
Yeah, he's
like
super
in
nice guy.
general. And like, again, another highlight of the movie. I do have a lot of speculation for that post-credit scene.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh.
I know, my God. But then the ending with the karaoke, like
That
I was not
great.
expecting that.
No.
Mm.
Oh, that was good. I really liked that one.
So you guys do the red carpet, you're ushered in, you see the movie.
Mhm.
Tell me, what are your first impressions?
Like the energy is already like really high, and I think so. The celebrities are in the theater with you, like they're sitting amongst everybody. I know Aquafina was like 2 rows behind us, right?
No, I think Aquafina was upstairs on the second level, but the sister was 2 rows behind
Okay.
us.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Another
So-
breakout star.
Yes. So it's like it's quiet, and like then the theater itself is really pretty. So they have like this beautiful, I think like peacock mural thing, and this like
Crystal
curtain with,
color
yeah,
curtain.
this crystal curtain, and it's all sparkly, and it has this beautiful music, and it like everything goes up, and then all of a sudden, like they really set the tone. And I like that they switch back and forth to subtitles. I like to watch things with subtitles on anyway because I can't always hear what's happening, so I don't mind reading and watching.
Oh my god, you're the third person to tell me that today. Like, we had a party today, and we ended up getting very drunk, among other things. And I played like a TV show, and everyone's like, I can't hear it. I'm like, they're like, put on subtitles. I'm like, what do you mean you can't hear it? Like, subtitles ruins everything. So
That's what I say.
And then my husband is like, oh, he does this all the time. He always forbids us to have subtitles. But like,
Yeah,
I get so distracted if I see the stuff. I don't mind for stuff like this. Just sidebar. I don't mind things like, you know, when you have to read it because it's in a different language. But like like when you're watching a movie all the way through in subtitles, I'm just distracted. I'm just reading the subtitles.
Yep.
Anyway, sorry, that's me.
It doesn't. I'm not distracted. I really like it because I think it helps like set the tone for the movie, and it just like, oh my god, I'm just like at a loss for words. We just saw it again in IMAX, and
I know
it was beautiful. Like, I have no bad things to say about this movie at all. Like, the storytelling was so good.
Same.
Like the story about family, about it. There was I feel like a subplot about strong women as well. I feel with the sister and Katie. So I liked that they included that as well. Well, even like his mom and the aunt, like everybody, like all the women in this movie are very strong. Even Katie's family, like her mom and her grandma, like strong women. I liked that aspect of it too. And the costumes and the fight choreography, it was like dancing.
The fighting was next level.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't have anything bad to say about this movie.
Justin, what did you think?
Exact same. Absolutely epic. Everything from the family dynamics to the acting to the comedic relief with Awkwafina and Simu Liu. Oh man, the fights were awesome. The cinematography, just the way they filmed the fights and the way they filmed like the interactions with them was so good. Even the special effects at the end, just in IMAX, was so much more epic.
Okay, the only bad thing I'm going to say about the movie is when Dad is trying to save Mom behind the gates of hell, and everyone is telling him like, no, it's not her. These soul eater demon things are messing with your mind. Stop it. And he's here like, no, that's absolutely false. And then he like pows like his son into the water and drowns him. And then the next thing he hears is his wife being like, come save me. I'm like, that should be a red flag for you that's really not your wife. Because like, if like my husband did that to my son, I'd be like, maybe go a little easy on him. Like, I know you're trying to rescue me. That was the only thing that
maybe check and see if he's alive.
Yeah,
first.
just check to see if he's alive. That was the only thing that was like, come on. Like, this is a guy who's been alive for like, what do you say, like 10 lifetimes?
1,000 years.
1,000 years. I was like, come on, like, you know, there are demonic forces in this world that are trying to manipulate you. Why? But I get it. The message about grief. And like, look, I had the same qualm with the What If Doctor Strange last week, where I was like, really? You're going to risk the entire multiverse or universe for Christine Palmer? Like,
booty blinded.
Yeah, complete. But that's what grief does. And I
yeah, it does.
I get that. I totally get that. But like, I just didn't believe it in the context for what we saw in the original Doctor Strange. But that was the only thing with this movie that was like, I wish he would have taken a step back and been a little bit more analytical. But that being said, it humanized his story, a character who in the comics originated as a Mandarin. We get this fully fleshed out story where he's here like, can you believe that someone called the Mandarin brought the US government to his knees? It's such an insult. And that he's motivated by loss and tragedy and power. I just thought it was such a well done character. But again, like what Marvel always does, really interesting villains die at the end, you know.
Yeah.
As they typically do. Let's say they take a dirt nap. but girl, they're dead. Girl, she died. Girl dies at the end, but I thought the mom, oh my God, like she was so great.
She was so strong,
Mhm.
and I liked, after rewatching the movie today, I noticed when Shang-Chi is sparring with his aunt, I think her name is Nan,
Hmm.
and how Nan had like the same fighting style, and when she was sparring with him, Shang-Chi was fighting with like closed fists, like
Hmm.
kind of,
His dad did.
yeah,
Yeah.
like fighting the way his dad taught him to. And so his aunt is like trying to teach him, saying like, open your heart and your mind,
Yeah.
and there's other ways to I guess,
Defeat an opponent.
yeah,
Okay.
to fight or battle.
But that was such a small, that's something we learned in auctioneering school, because typically when you're on stage and you're calling out bids, you want to go like that, like boom, like, yeah, bidder right there. But no, you want to do this because you're welcoming people in. So this symbolic gesture right there, you're bringing people. And I picked up on that too when Michelle Yeoh was like teaching it, but which, by the way, she looked absolutely fabulous. She was
Yeah.
stunning, and like the way she moved on camera, I was like, I mean, it was just such a wonder, like seeing them interact. They had such wonderful chemistry, but she could portray that character with so much heart and strength, much like Mom's character. Like there was so much like love and strength. And I've always made this argument, like when people are like, oh, motherhood is such a passive, a passive act. I'm like, no, motherhood can actually be very proactive and can be very strong and powerful. And we saw that when they came to like find dad, and she was here like, no. And like little Shang-Chi's like, you don't have your powers. And she's like, take care of your sister. I'm going to take care of all these motherfuckers,
Yeah.
And she did.
Yeah.
And she defended her family.
Mm-hmm.
I love the beginning that they work in valet. Like typical underachievers.
I like in the beginning how, I mean, you knew from the trailer that he wasn't really like a baller, but if you weren't watching the trailers and you were just watching the movie, initially you were thinking like, oh, look, he's done really well for himself, and then it's misdirection. Like, no, actually, he hasn't. He's just doing like the bare minimum, like flying under the radar, like not trying to do too much.
Well, and what I thought was interesting was that he was on the run from his dad. I have to watch the movie again, because I don't think I quite could figure out the timeline, because I thought he was MIA for 10 years when he left his sister. But then Aquafina Caddy says, oh, I've known you for half your life. And I'm like, but I was thrown off by some of that.
Yeah, because he left when he was 14. And
so is he 24? Okay.
Well,
probably around then.
Yeah,
I guess that makes sense.
It's more like it's just an estimation.
Yeah, half your life, I guess, was just an estimate. I was a little thrown off too. I'm like, well, how old is he? Is he like 24 or is he like 20?
I know, because I always end up comparing, and I'm like, what was I doing at 24? I was not saving the world.
Yeah, exactly. I liked, I really liked the part when they were at the Sisters Fight Club and he had to fight, and like that guy's like, oh, and take off your shirt, and then like the next thing you know, he's shirtless, and Katie does like a double take where she's like, oh, okay, and then she's like, what happened to your shirt? And he's like, no.
Which was in all the trailers. And so the thing that I wanted to, as a sidebar that I wanted to bring up, is that all the trailers I saw, all the promo materials for this movie did not showcase how beautiful the movie was, how much CGI it had. Do they still call it CGI? I don't know. I feel like a viejito when I say that. I'm like, CGI. The VFX.
Yeah, you can say special
effects. Like the little dog chicken angel thing. Like
Morris.
Is it? I call it Makona from Magic Knight Ray Earth.
I was calling him Murray, and that was not his name.
But PJ Garcia,
Mhm.
Kid Wolf, sent me like a little information about this. So shout out to him. Where apparently those are like mischievous mountain gods.
Yeah, I
Oh,
have
okay.
one.
Oh, really? Let's see.
So they were on clearance at Target for $2.99.
Oh my god.
So
Oh my god. Hello, baby. My god, that is adorable.
I know. It really reminds me of my dog, Slurpy Derpy.
Oh,
Like
Slurpee.
that's her personality for sure.
But it was just so like I didn't see that in the promo materials. I didn't see any of the majestic creatures once they got to the village. I just thought I saw like shots of the dragon, obviously, and I
Yeah.
don't think the dragon was any particular character, right? It definitely wasn't Fing Fan Foom.
No, I think there was a lot of misdirection
Mhm.
in that. I think I heard rumors that Katie was going to be the dragon, or that it was going to be Fin Thing. Boom. Sorry, a little bit of tongue twister.
I know. I just same, same.
But yeah, there wasn't really like any clarity as to what other characters were going to make an appearance. And when we saw Ben Kingsley on the red carpet, like me and our friend Brett like looked at each other and we're like, do you think he's going to be in the movie? Like how big of a role do you think he's going to play? And then he was like, can I post that selfie, or do you think it's a spoiler? And I'm like, I don't know. I mean, we're just going to have to watch the movie and find out, you know?
I think once they hit the red carpet, all bets are off.
Yeah.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
It's all publicized once they hit the red carpet anyways.
Well, because you never know. Like sometimes the stars come and they're not necessarily in the movie.
Yeah, that's fair.
So that's why we weren't sure, because he was like the Mandarin before, and even the dad like even kind of alluded to that when he was talking about all his different names. Like he's like, oh, I've been known as this, I've been known as the Pretender, like that Mandarin orange guy that the U.S. government created, or some other organization tried to like terrorize people using my name.
And I'm glad they remind you. So when Ben Kingsley came on screen, my entire theater erupted in applause.
Yeah.
And I kind of had seen him on like not promos. I didn't see him on any promos, but I saw him like on the red carpet, like B-roll of him there, and someone talked about him being there. So I was like, oh, he's going to be there. But even me, it took a second to like, oh, that's Ben Kingsley. But everyone in my theater knew him. And I was like, whoa, like this just goes to show you how deep the Marvel brand is and what people are always looking for, Yeah.
I like those like callbacks to previous movies, the ties to everything. That's
but I was like, why is he here? Like, I mean, apart from like a plot device to get them out of like prison, like the dad's prison, like then he kind of fades away once they reach their destination. That's it, he's gone. And don't get me wrong, I thought he was magnetic. He is such a thespian. Like he just pulsates on the screen. But I was like, at the end when he's like playing dead, he's like, shh, I'm playing dead. I'm like okay. Fair. Okay. I forgot about you, so might as well. And that's it. We didn't see him again. So
he was at the end. He did like release a lantern at the end. So maybe he stayed in the fantasy world.
You're right. I hope he did.
I think he may have, because he was in prison for so long, and he wasn't an actual terrorist, but that's what people knew him for, and he was in jail for that. So I think maybe he lived out the rest of his life in what is it?
Talo.
Yeah, I'm like, I was gonna say something else. Thank you. With Talo, with his BFF Morris.
Oh, so cute. Aww. Do you know what else I loved in the movie were the 10 rings themselves? I thought the way it was rendered on screen, like...
Yeah, the way he used the rings, too, was just a great spin on how different they were from the comics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was cool, because he could project himself, he could use them to bounce off of things, and it was neat that Wenwu and Shang-Chi used them in different ways.
Yeah.
As well, when they were fighting each other, and then once Shang-Chi got possession of them, like he used them much differently than his father did.
Completely different. And I think, I mean, they even changed colors when they got to him. And obviously, we know there's a lot more going on with the 10 rings because of that post-credit scene. And
oh my gosh.
I know, like, what did you guys think of that post-credit scene?
You want to go first?
I just think that the Ten Rings Society is now going to probably play a bigger part in the cinematic universe going forward.
Mm-hmm.
Whether they're going to be good or bad is a whole different.
Yeah, that's what we kind of were talking about today after we saw it for the second time. Like, he asked if I wanted to stay for the post-credit scene again. I'm like, yeah, let me just stay one more time because I want to make sure that I really understand what's happening there. And you know, the first time I'm like, oh, she's just taking over the family business and it's gonna, you know, maybe become like a good organization. But then after watching it again, it felt really ambiguous. Like, is it because she was a little like smirky, you know, and she was always trying to like prove to her dad and her brother in some way that she was their equal and that she was equally as like strong and powerful. So maybe she's going to use this organization now, and is it going to be for good or is it going to be for bad? Like,
I think like nebulous purposes.
Yeah.
What I took from that post-credit scene, I'm sorry, I realized I said post-credit when I meant mid-credits or whatever. I always get them confused, but post-credit. What I liked about it was she had the line in the movie where she's here like, if dad's not gonna welcome me into his own empire, I'm gonna make my own. And it was a caddy who was here like, that's right there.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But at the end, what we saw, because she was talking about how men and women were segregated. At the end, she's sitting on her throne and they're both men and women in her empire. And I just love that post-sex ideology, which is what she saw when she got to the village. That was like a real aha moment for her when her aunt is like, no, men, women, it's all the same here. Like a warrior is a warrior. And I think that's the lesson she's bringing to the new 10 Rings. Where that's going to go in the MCU, I don't know. She did not look like the nicest like, I definitely don't want to be there around her. But at the same time, I'm like, hopefully she learned a lesson.
Yeah.
But I don't know. She had Wong and like Abomination fighting at her club. So I don't know. I don't know if she has even at her peak, she's the most morally driven individual.
Yeah. Well, I had to ask Justin because he reads the comics. I'm like, what is she like in the comics? Is she like that?
Well, she's a lot younger. She's like in the comics. I think she's a teenager.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she's like a little kid, probably early teens. And she's just like a little firecracker, kind of like a little Gabby.
A little Gabby.
Does she want to kill everything?
She just wants to kill everything.
Yeah.
She's like, yes, that's exactly what I want to hear.
So, like, if you're taking that kind of character and maybe that's how she's gonna turn out.
They're kind of the same, just aged and matured to a different level.
So, but I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see where it goes. But that mid-credit scene.
Yes,
mid-credit
scene was everything.
I almost wet myself. Like when we see Bruce Banner and Carol Danvers. And they're like, we don't know what the 10 rings are. We've never seen technology like this anywhere, but it looks like it's a homing beacon. And they're like, we don't know what's a homing beacon for. And I'm like, who is it summoning? I'm like, Galactus. I don't know. I don't know if it's Galactus, but who do you guys think? What do you guys think?
Mystical. I would think it's more of like a mystical type.
Mephisto.
Character.
I think it was maybe setting up like the Eternals. Because
you're right. That's a very valid point.
Yeah, because like they're afraid that something's gonna happen, so maybe it's gonna summon one of the Celestials to come to Earth to prepare it to become a new Celestial. I believe that's how it works.
That actually makes a lot of sense because remember when he was saying they were asking how long did your dad have these, and he said 1,000 years, and then Wong was like, well, these predate that way further. They're way older.
Oh, that's a really
That's a really good point.
Yeah, so, I mean that's what I thought, but I could be wrong. I have a lot of like crazy out there theories.
That's a good theory. I like that one.
No, that is a great theory.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, my thoughts on the Eternals have changed significantly recently. I was like, fuck the Eternals. I just want the X-Men. I know. Oh my god. Oh my god, I'm getting in trouble for saying that.
I think the Eternals will really like help set up the X-Men because it's because of them being with humans, right, that we get mutants.
Yeah.
So that is probably a good like I don't know if Black Knight's a mutant or if he's some kind of Eternal. I know there's some like love triangle that's supposed to happen maybe between him and Cersei and Icarus.
Okay.
I think.
Listen, I just met these people, so I'm getting to know their names too. I'm like, oh, you spell Icarus with a K, huh? Like that's as far as I'm going with the Eternals right now. But our mutual friend Namor cosplay recommended that I start with the original run, and I was like, but should I? And I was like, okay, I'm going to read one issue, and I'll tell you how I feel. But spoilers, I'm going to hate it. And I was like, oh, actually, this is really good. Like I was like, I'm going to order the omnibus now. Thank you. Now I'm out like $150. So, but I like that. I like that this is possibly going to tie into the Eternals because the Eternals obviously has thousands of years worth of history within the MCU. And that's going to play a large role in the upcoming movie and then sort of their positioning on Earth. Although like when Angelina Jolie, of course, who has that like epic line, she's like, when you love something, you protect it. I'm like, then why didn't you protect them against Thanos when he snapped away half of them? Like half of these humans.
Because Thanos is a deviant.
I know. Everyone keeps telling me that. You know what? Fine.
No,
okay.
They should have been able to interfere.
I heard that like Thanos might be her kid or like something.
Really?
Like
Hey.
yeah. Okay. So I only
love
know what I like read on the interwebs. But I believe like Athena is conflicted because she has a child with a deviant. So she's an Eternal, and the deviants and the Eternals are not supposed to get together, but they did, and I believe like Marvel may be going because Thanos' parents, one's an Eternal and one is a deviant, I believe.
Okay.
I believe. I could be wrong. Or both of his parents might be Eternals and he becomes a deviant. I don't know. There's some like weird like convoluted backstory to him.
Of course.
But I think like Athena might be his mom.
Oh, interesting.
And I think that's why maybe she didn't interfere.
I'm gonna be again, in all honesty, deviance, this terminology with the Eternals did not enter my vocabulary until this month. So all I'm gonna say, the only thing I can say in defenses is like I thought Thanos was a Titan, but like sure, okay.
Oh yeah, maybe.
Well, his nickname's the Mad Titan.
Okay.
No, but I'm googling Thanos deviant, and there's something here. So
okay.
Sure.
So there could be something.
I think
along those
there
lines.
could be like multiple stories because you know how people like
is.
to retcon things, or they don't go into too much detail in the beginning and then they like create a more detailed backstory later on.
Yeah,
that's why I wasn't sure.
Here is Thanos a deviant? Why the Eternals didn't intervene explained, and a lot of people are talking about it. So it's a very hot topic issue that I'm sure will be addressed in the movie. But like, all I can say is
a little.
It's okay because Shang-Chi, like again, that ending. Oh my god. When they were at the bar and they were explaining everything that happened, and their friends like, okay, you're getting back at me. And then like Wong comes in and is like, come with me. And literally the portal's open and they're like when Shang is like, okay, bye, I'll Venmo you. I was like, yes, he is totally that friend who's here like, hey, thanks for getting the drinks. I have to go save the world now, but I'll Venmo you, bye.
I got you, don't worry.
I got you, don't worry. And he probably did because he's a good person.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah. Like, I feel like the Shang-Chi movie really like helped set up the next phase of Marvel movies.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I think we talked about this, Justin, about how like Iron Man kind of set up the other MCU films it really feels like Shang-Chi is kind of setting them up for the next phase of Marvel superheroes.
So is he an Avenger now? Is that what we were supposed to infer? Like him and Caddy?
Yeah, because
I think so. Because remember that line that Wong said? He's like,
Yeah,
your
like
lives are going to exponentially go from here on out.
Yeah, and then I think Banner said something like, "Oh, like welcome to
the club.
Yeah,
Or welcome to the circus.
Which is great. And by the way, Aquafina at the end, when she shot that arrow, she's like, "Holy shit!" I like the track.
She's like, "It worked."
And I love how she said, she's like, "I didn't know I was going to do it." And then I shot it and I was like, "Holy shit, the dragon." And everyone's just like, look at her. I was like, Like she was just, again, Aquafina, just, she was my favorite character in the movie. We're going to see it again next week. And I just, because I thought she was so enjoyable. I thought they were all enjoyable. And let me tell you, like, I was reading like the reviews online and they were like, oh yeah, like Shang-Chi kind of isn't the best leading man. And like, thank God he had Aquafina to like lift him, and lift the scenes from like an acting point of view. And I was like, no, I think they complemented each other very well. But she just has a magnetic personality. She has that thing, like in Hollywood, that it just, any scene she's in, she's going to eclipse anyone. I wouldn't throw that on any other actors,
Yeah, I think she was cast before
she was
Simu.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think they had to make sure like their chemistry was good. And I loved them. Like they had a really good,
they played off each other.
Simu was phenomenal. The way he moved, the fight on the bus with the jacket, and like I'm like trying to do it, I can't because sidebar. I went to the chiropractor and he's here like hit my hand, or he was like put your hand out, and he goes like this. I'm like, oh, he's like, I can't tell if you're lazy or just really weak. And I'm like, doctor, a little bit of A, a little bit of B. So like, as I'm trying to do the moves here, I'm like, oh my God, I'm so tired. So thank you, Simu, for being a wonderful actor. For those of us who are just exhausted looking at you, but oh my God, the way you moved.
Yeah. The bus scene was like one of my favorites.
So good.
What's crazy is they don't even come from a martial arts background. So everything they learned was in preparation for the movie.
What, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It's so crazy. Like the sister, she didn't know martial arts either before.
Wow. I actually thought that they did hire people who were martial arts savvy. I mean, again, I haven't done a deep dive into the actors and their personal histories, but like the way he moved, the way she moved, especially her, like, oh my God, like it was just gorgeous.
It takes a lot of training.
Yeah.
From the martial arts background, and it's not something you can just pick up and do.
I mean, it's something that you really have to. And the reason why I asked is because the stunt work felt very practical. It didn't feel like there were like CGI doubles. I'm sure there were CGI doubles, especially when we got on the dragon and stuff like that. But for the most part, those shots were up close and tight and had never before been seen in a movie. And all I can think of is like, wow, like Marvel, just like there's not a genre that Marvel can't excel at. They really came into this and they're like, we're going to give a voice to Asian Americans, and we're also going to do a kick-ass movie here, and it's going to be a blockbuster, and it's going to be amazing, and we're going to release it during the pandemic, and it's going to do really well. Wait, let me see the box office. Let's see the box office. I'm sorry, I cut you off.
I was just going to say, it was a really like well-contained story that if you hadn't seen any of the other movies, you were okay. Like there were a few like callbacks and Easter eggs to things like Trevor the Mandarin, and then the
reference the snap too.
Yeah, the reference to the snap. And
well, it goes to that, like, how we sort of as a society had a post 9/11 and now a global pandemic mentality, but that's like the society now in the Marvel universe. You're like, at any moment half the universe can be wiped out. Like that does something to you as a culture, like a collective culture.
Yeah.
Guys, the movie this weekend, opening weekend, has made $140 million, which pre-pandemic, that wasn't like, that's not a wow
Yeah,
number for Marvel, but for a pandemic when these movies are not opening up and like people with the Delta variant going, that is impressive.
that's insane.
Yeah.
I think they were targeting it for like 75 to 85,
Yeah, that's
and it almost doubled that.
insane.
That's
Yeah. I'm not seeing the global domestic breakdowns just yet, but that's really good. How much did Black Widow make? But Black
uh,
Widow also has that like the very contentious Disney
Yeah.
Plus money.
Yeah.
But let's see how Black Widow did against that, because that is like really good. I think Black Widow globally, Black Widow to date in the box office only made 372 million. And
wow,
Shang-Chi's
halfway there
already
in the
half that.
weekend.
Yeah. Well, I don't think Black Widow has opened up in China yet. I don't think so. And obviously, we know the Chinese market brings in huge numbers, but still, regardless, yeah, that's going to help ScarJo's case. Now,
Yeah.
I've been saying that like Shang-Chi was going to be the sacrificial lamb, that Marvel's like, look, we released this movie during a pandemic. There's no right way to release a movie. Apparently there is, Marvel. Like, or Disney, you did a really great job because everyone loves this movie. So
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
Well, I mean, they did a lot more fan screenings for Shang-Chi, and they did separate premieres. So with Black Widow, it premiered in
New York,
London, New York, LA, and then
Australia.
I think I want to say Australia simultaneously, as well as Disney Plus. And then with Shang-Chi, they did the LA premiere like 2 weeks before the opening, and then the day after they did a fan event in LA, and then they did a separate premiere for London. And I didn't see if I didn't know when they did the New York and the Australia premieres, but they were all on different days.
gotcha.
So I think they were able to spread it out more and get more hype behind it, versus Black Widow only got like one release date worldwide a week before, where Shang-Chi got the 2 weeks like to hype it up. Not that either movie is like better than the other. They're both great movies. But I think Disney just
Yeah, different
did
approaches. Right?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, I don't think everyone realized how much this movie stands for the Asian community, and how much backing it has, and marketing just through the Asian community alone.
Mhm.
I follow an account on Instagram, and they have GoFundMe accounts to show, like, to rent out entire theaters so kids can watch the movie. Asian kids can watch the movie.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Well, I'm so glad. I mean, it's a movie that's gonna contribute to hopefully a changing of the tide with cultural perspectives, because we live in very curious times, even though it's 2021, and
Yeah.
we still have to deal with a lot of hate out there. And I'm just so glad a movie like this exists.
Yeah, me
Yeah.
too.
I'm Chinese, so I grew up with the Chinese culture. So just seeing all the little intricacies that they had in the movie, just like little things that they would say, like at the family breakfast, little things they would say, down to the point where Simu Liu said, we all got picked on for the same things. It's like, unless you went through it, you wouldn't really know what he's talking about.
Yeah.
So just down to like little things like that and then all the Asian cultural, like, lore, things like that was just right on point with it. Like I said, they knocked it out of the park with this one on every level.
Yes. And he will return, and we can't wait.
Yes, that's so.
So, guys, where can folks at home follow you guys? Follow on your adventures.
Well, I'm at JT_Otero, but Michelle posts more of me than I do, so.
We all post more of you than you do.
Yeah, Justin's very humble. I do post a lot of him on my personal Instagram. Michelle Waffalo. If you want to see any pictures of Justin, you can just look at my account because I post a lot. Yeah, or just go to Justin's account and look at all his tag photos.
There you go.
There's definitely more tag photos than what he's posted.
I think I even say that in my bio.
Yeah.
I'm only here for the tags.
He's only here for the tags. He's only here for the tags. And the occasional post.
Right.
I love that. And any upcoming projects you guys have on the horizon? Any more cosplay collaborations, perhaps?
I don't know about collaborations, but we got a couple ideas we wanted to do.
Oh yeah, well so we are working on a new a joint Instagram account for us. We don't have a name for it yet, but we want to showcase our collection of, I guess, nerd memorabilia, fandom memorabilia. So we have a lot of like pops, legends, Toy Biz stuff, dolls, comic books that we
I know. I know. I was there, guys. I was there IRL. This nerd room is everything you want. I mean, you can see it right if you're watching this on YouTube. Like, just looking behind you.
This is a small part of it, and we're just like, we have so many like cool things, like even in storage, and I think
prints and everything. We have a lot of art.
We have art we haven't even had a chance to hang up, and we just want to showcase all that like in a feed, so people can like check it out and enjoy it. We might sell some things. We're not sure. We're not sure yet, but we might post a few things for sale there.
Yes.
I have a lot of stuff from my childhood as well. Justin
the
has a few
internet
pieces.
will love it. The internet will love it. Please start that.
It's coming soon.
Coming soon. Once
TBD.
we come up with a good name.
Yeah, we haven't come up with a good name, so if anybody wants to make a suggestion,
throw out some ideas.
Yeah. We tried like a couple of collectors, but those are all taken. So something about being like a couple, I mean, in my bio, I call myself the comic book princess, even though I'm really behind on my back issues.
Oh man, it is insane. Like I don't know how anyone can keep up with all the books that are being published. It's such a great time to be a Marvel fan.
Yeah. Even like independence too. Like we like a lot of stuff, and we just want to share that with people. And so we're trying to figure that out. And we do a lot of toy hunting, so maybe we'll like feature our toy hunting adventures on there.
Oh my god, 110% yes. I'm already tuned in. Just tell me where to go. Just tell me where to hit that follow.
I know.
Whatever button. I'm there.
We'll make an announcement once it's like got an official name and we've posted maybe like 10 posts at least or something.
Oh yeah. I love
we gotta
that.
like do a soft opening, if you will.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for being with us tonight. And folks at home, go watch Shang-Chi, right? Like, just go watch it.
Go see it. Go see it multiple times.
Yes, in IMAX for sure. It's a real treat.
Yes.
And get your swag.
Get your swag.
Get your swag.
All right, guys. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye.